Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days. You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open. You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good. The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches. The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray. Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand? He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high. But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. The man in gray smiles. All right, then.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. You'll sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety. Travel? That's your job. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. Go on your way, seeker. Maybe either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same board. One of the women wrinkles her nose in disappointment. The other raises a rifle,
stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when
off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree. The shape gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore, but I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being at the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral. You're breathless. Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice. After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you, despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the
A few years.
The tall one sits on the sofa. You wake up the next morning on their old sofa. This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets, compelled by the cold and foreboding night. You don't question it. Where to? He asks. He takes you through ever odder streets. Flank, the fares in glowing numbers above his...
Hey there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is. This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. These here are my venturing companions. Cass is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip. I usually beat my way on the rails, but I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any? Get too much out of tales that are so cheerful. Well, I don't know a whole lot. They say there's an Injun grave around these parts. Say it's haunted and full up with angry spirits. I used to love hearing stories of cowboys and Injuns fighting it up. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Not sure I quite follow. What's my future? I ain't looking for... I do fine by myself. So, hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like... Leaving already? Well, me too. I think I'll go check out what's happening up the road this way. Maybe I'll see you around. Tramping life suits me just fine. With things being so depressed, plenty nice things to see if you know...
The women are oblivious to your approach. Their eyes are shut. Their touch, where they hold hands, is gentle. They speak in low tones. One stifles a burst of laughter, but it brings a smile to their faces.
And we give thanks for those who have left us, who we wanted gone, for the skills to thrive without them.
Black smoke as the ferry churns gray water into froth.
I wish you didn't have to go.
She says,
There's got to be work on some of those buildings going up.
her words are split by a sob.
Might as well be.
hotel is an old manor house that's seen better days. A grand structure surmounted by a clerk behind the counter is old, and your room in the morning as you leave, the clerk got too tired to lie. You tell him about the noise outside your door.